Good day. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment as you see fit. Today we're going to talk about meteorites are art from outer space. A few things to say, but let's hear the article first.
Meteorites are art from outer space. The newest collecting market involves some of the oldest objects on the planet. By Peter Sanger, August 28, 2020, 1:54 p.m. at A meteorite from Siberia, sliced to display the crystals inside, was among the items in Christie's Deep Impact sale this month. Photo. Christie's Images Limited 2021. Of the newest collecting markets deals in some of the oldest objects on the planet. Meteorites are chunks of metal and stone from outer space, objects that fall to Earth. People have collected them since the 18th century, but prices languished for most of the 20th century, according to James Hislop, head of the Science and Natural History Department at Christie's. He says that interest in meteorites rose dramatically after the 1993 movie, Jurassic Park, which created new demand for dinosaur fossils and other ancient collectibles. At a Christie's sale this month, Deep Impact, lunar and rare meteorites, more than one-third of the meteorites beat their high estimates. Earlier in August, Dallas-based Heritage Auctions got $162,500 for a 5-pound chunk of Mars that eventually landed on Earth. According to Mr. Hislop, some meteorite buyers want the thrill of owning something so ancient. In rare cases, meteorites can contain material older than the solar system, which formed 4.6 billion years ago. Others love the crystalline, jewelry-like aspects of meteorites, using them in necklaces, wedding rings and earrings. Meteorites can also be seen as natural works of art. In an essay accompanying the sale, Mr. Hislop notes that a stone meteorite found less than a year ago by Berber nomads in the Sahara Desert resembles the work of the American sculptor Ken Price, whose abstract works are made out of fired clay. The meteorite might have acquired its unusual tubular shape during its outer space journey or after it fell to Earth. In the Deep Impact auction, it fetched $37,500. Most meteorites come from the asteroid belt between Jupiter and Mars. When two asteroids collide, as happens fairly often, they can hurl the resulting debris onto a path that eventually leads to Earth. More rarely, meteorites come from material ejected into space when an asteroid strikes the surfaces of the Moon or Mars. A fragment of the Murchison meteorite, which contains elements that are up to 7 billion years old, sold at Christie's for $30,000. Photo. Christie's Images Limited 2021. Of the highlights of the Christie's auction was a fragment of the Murchison meteorite, gathered from an Australian site north of Melbourne, where its fall was observed in 1969. The rocks, whose plain, dark appearance belies their importance, preserve stardust that's 5 to 7 billion years old. These are the oldest solid materials ever found, wrote Philip Heck, a curator at Chicago's Field Museum and lead author of a study of the meteorite published in January in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences. At Christie's, a Murchison fragment measuring about 2 inches by 2 inches by 1 inch, or the size of a small bottle of hand sanitizer, was estimated to sell for $12,000, $18,000 and fetched $30,000. Meteorites often shatter on their way to Earth, but traders and collectors cut them up in other ways. Meteorites are sometimes sliced to display the crystals inside, as with the Esquel meteorites discovered in Argentina about 70 years ago. Its embedded crystals are olivine, a mineral from which the gemstone peridot is derived. Christie's asked up to $25,000 for the 0.1 inch thick, roughly 6 by 8 inch slice. It sold for $37,500. An iron meteorite found in the town of Gibeon in Namibia's Kalahari Desert. Photo. Christie's Images Limited 2020. To give an idea of how the market has changed since 1990, longtime collector Daryl Pitt cites iron meteorites found near the town of Gibeon in Namibia's Kalahari Desert. They sold for as little as $16 a kilogram in the early 1990s, but then prices began to rise. I kept the meteorites I coveted and quickly flipped the specimens I didn't want for $25 per kilo, and I thought I was a genius. Today, Mr. Pitt says, the most shapeless Gibeon meteorite will sell for $850 per kilogram. Aesthetic specimens, which I liken to natural sculpture from outer space, sell for far more. Among the aesthetically pleasing meteorites on auction this year, Mr. Hislop was partial to a twisting, slender Gibeon meteorite that almost resembles a seahorse. The Martian meteorite sold by Heritage looks more like a traditional space rock, with one area ranging from brown to reddish pink and consistent with a red planet origin. Experts authenticate Martian or lunar rocks by comparing their makeup to samples analyzed by Martian landers or brought home from the moon by astronauts. Behind the price tag talk, meteorite lovers frequently display a sense of gravity, not the Newtonian kind, about the age of these objects. As Mr. Hislop says of the Murchison rock, it's quite humbling when you hold these things. It's the oldest thing you can touch.
Well, there you go. My father and grandfather were into this, um, probably because my grandmother's family was into it as well. But this is bonus material. I hope you enjoyed it. Um, I hope we'll be able to do more content about material God created that we're just finding here on Earth. Leave a comment below.